Next, I'll recognize Congressman McNerney for his 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, Chairman. I thank the witnesses. An interesting discussion for sure. One that affects all of us every year. So I'm probably get it out on the table here. Dr. Marlowe, I believe the science surrounding this issue must inform our policy decisions. So how do you view the health benefits of utilizing sunlight versus the health benefits of proper circadian alignment?
Yes, so I think what you're asking is how does sunlight fit into this whole circadian misalignment issue? Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked that question just so I could clear it up a little bit. So basically, when it's light in the morning, I've explained that gets us going, gets us alert. It actually resets our clock so that it's easier to fall asleep at night. And that's important because we need to get proper sleep so that we can feel good and do all the things that are important for our health. And when we get light too late in the day and in the evening, so basically in the winter, we want to get our light in the mornings, and that's what the permanent standard time would help promote. Now, in the evening, we want to get less light. I'm not talking about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night. I'm talking about 10 o'clock at night. When I lived in Michigan, we would have to postpone fireworks on July 4th until after 10 o'clock because it wasn't dark yet. And that light is what interferes with our falling asleep because we need it to be dark to produce our natural melatonin and help us fall asleep. So as an example, people who are on those western edges of those time zones tend to get less sleep. People have actually documented they get less sleep, they have more health issues like obesity, even cancer has been linked to those western edges because they're not getting enough light in the morning and they're getting too much light in the evening. And that's what contributes to not just sleep deprivation, but that whole mismatch that we refer to as circadian misalignment. And what the permanent daylight time would do is exacerbate that effect because you'd be getting even less light in the morning in the winter and more light in the evening, while permanent standard time, which is more healthy, would promote more sleep, promote more circadian alignment. It's called standard time because it's more natural. It fits our regular sleep-wake patterns and promotes sleep.
I don't want you to filibuster my whole 3 to 5 minutes. How does the impact of changing a clock by 1 hour compare with jet lag for 1 hour difference or for more than 1 hour?
Yeah, and I'll try to be brief. I just had wanted to make sure I got the basic facts in. So it's very different when we go, let's say, from Chicago to DC, because what's happening is we're changing our clock, but we're also changing our environment, and we're following the sun. So everything changes, and the sun actually helps us reset our circadian rhythms. But when next weekend, when we turn the clock forward, we're not changing our environment. So it's a very artificial thing. And we're actually we're off kilter, we're off sync by an hour for 8 months during the year when we're on the permanent, when we make the change to daylight saving time. Okay. So that's the difference.
Professor Calandrio, in 2011, Russia switched to a permanent daylight savings time, but it was widely unpopular and the decision was reversed in 3 years. The same thing happened in the UK in 1971 and the US in 1974 after complaints about children going to school in the dark and so on. How do proponents of daylight savings time address that sort of issue, that sort of challenge?
Yeah, thank you, Representative. It's a good question.